If you're like me, maybe you took a few years off from your Lego hobby. It happens to all of us. Sometimes we get burnt out and then get back into it. I know a lot of people like you guys have dropped the hobby for a few years and then got back into it. And I think that's a really amazing thing. I know that happened to me, and I recently got back into Lego in the last 2 or 3 years. However, I actually missed out on some key Marvel minifigure lines and just general minifigure lines because of that. But today I found something very, very interesting on AliExpress. As we know, we build a lot of alternates from AliExpress. They're a really great way to build for cheap. And this channel is all about building for cheap, whether it be alternates and like in terms of this, Lego sets, Lego minifigures, or alternate companies who do their complete own thing, such as Fantasy. And we got this bag today for £10, and this is gonna have the whole of the first Marvel minifigure line in it. I'm really excited about this. I think there's about 12 figures here for £10, which is a pretty good deal. So today we are going to compare AliExpress alternates and see if these minifigures are any good, if they're up to the quality of the Lego ones, and if there's anything that goes wrong or if they're worth your money. So I suppose we should unpackage some of these. So they're going to come in just basic plastic. You can kind of get a bit of a sneak look at all the minifigures. For some reason, this one has number 13 on it, which I think is a little bit weird, but we'll move past that. But yeah, they're all just kind of plasticed up like the old Lego bags and contain the minifigures separately. So let's bump into a time lapse and get building on some of these figures. Okay, we finished all the figures. They were pretty much a joy to build. There was maybe a few struggles here and there, but honestly, nothing too bad. Pretty enjoyable, and they look really good. Let's take a look at them. We'll have a closer individual look in a minute, but you can just kind of see every minifigure, what they come with, and how good they all look. I mean, this is literally identical to the Lego ones. The prints are the same, they are just the same minifigures in every way. They all have the same interchangeable heads, the same kind of, what they come with, accessories and everything. These look really good. And getting 12 minifigures like these for £9 to £10 is really good, considering the Lego ones were like £3.50 each, which means like that is so much more. That's like over triple the price of what we got this for. And it makes you think, is Lego really doing things for as cheap as they could be? Probably not. They probably are putting the prices up unnecessarily. But let's have a look at each minifigure individually and see how they scale up. First of all, we have the White Vision from the last 2 episodes of WandaVision. This is quite a cool figure. The printing is really cool. The arm printing is great. The cape is really cool. We even get some back printing, which I always like. But yeah, overall, a very nice minifigure. A lot of these come with these little like jumping things to like have them heightened a bit. But yeah, it looks good. The leg printing obviously looks quite good. The face looks good. We've got the back of the head, which is also all printed up. And this is an accessory, comes with like some kind of a laptop, which is it. It's a pretty cool little minifigure. Maybe not one of my favorites because I normally prefer the normal Vision, but it's nice that we got a figure like this in this line. Next up, we have the TVA version of Loki from Loki Season 1. I really like this minifigure. I kind of wish that we got a Mobius with it as well, because they would have been a great duo together. But this Loki one is really cool. And the fact we also get the frog version of Thor, I forgot his name, but that is such a cool touch as well. He looks absolutely amazing. What a cool little figure to have in the city, hopefully later on down the line. He also comes with a jumper plate, which is quite cool. But yeah, his legs do have printing, which I do quite like, as well as his back, which says variant. And it is a pretty nice minifigure. Then we have the new Captain America. This is a really cool figure. The way he still has his falcon wings, but in a really cool new way. I love we've got printing on both sides of these, no stickers, and some really great printing as well. I think the figure looks absolutely amazing, and I wish they kept this one in his actual film rather than just having it in the Disney Plus show. The shield is also pretty cool and matches in. I mean, overall, all of this makes for a really great minifigure, and I think it will really stand out across the whole line, like when you put it across and it's one of the main characters of the MCU. Then we have the Winter Soldier himself, Bucky. This figure looks really great. I'm a bit surprised they chose to have the Captain America shield with him as well, but I guess they didn't have too many options in terms of another piece they could include. Both arms are actually different here, which I do quite like. We had to put those on separately. But again, looks really great. And again, there's not really too much you can do with a figure like this because he doesn't have too much going on. But I like what they have done with it. Interestingly, this one came with a jumper plate, but the Falcon didn't, the new Captain America. So I found that quite interesting. And we also got 2 spare hand pieces with this figure as well. But overall, pretty nice. We then have the What If Gamora, which I do quite like the figure of. I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. These episodes weren't my favourite that featured her. Well, What If as a whole isn't really my favourite. So the figures about that I don't care about as much, but it is still cool to have a Gamora like this. I really like her accessory here. Again, we get another jumper plate to have her jumping in the air. But I think it matches her character quite well. The hair piece is very nicely done, and so is all the printing on the figure itself. Then we move our attention to Sylvie from the Loki TV show. Again, a figure that I'm really happy we have and will look really good with Loki. I'm really liking the head printing here that kind of has the crown coming off of it, even though I think it looks like it might be split. I don't know if that's how the crown itself is designed. And another thing which kind of shows off these figures a bit more is that her headpiece actually looks a little bit cracked, which is a bit of a shame, but it doesn't take away too much from the minifigure itself. The printing is still good. The one thing that annoys me though is that she does just have plain black legs, and obviously that is how Lego would have designed it, but I wish we had a bit more. Her accessory makes up for it though, because we do get this little crocodile, which is a really cool feature, as well as a jumper plate. Then we have the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff herself, from WandaVision, which I think is the best Disney Plus show. A really cool figure. It really matches her. I think one thing that I don't know if this is like the normal minifigure, but her hands are actually the bright red and not the dark red that the rest of her body is. It's not too big of a problem because she's holding these things, but I think it's a little bit weird when you notice it. It looks a bit odd. But yeah, overall, a pretty cool minifigure to show off the set. The cape looks great as well. I'm really liking the colour of that. And we get a jumper plate with that one too. Then we get the most overused character in Marvel history. It's Captain Cotter, who is literally everywhere for no reason because she kind of sucks. But yeah, the figure is quite cool. The personal shield is cool. The leg printing and body printing is cool. Arm printing looks great. The hair looks a bit scattered and broken up, which is a bit of a shame. Didn't really notice that until now. And the back printing is pretty nice too. We get these 2 plates here, which I'm not really too sure why we get those, as well as a jumper. But yeah, I mean, a cool minifigure, even though Captain Carter is very, very overused. Next up, we have T'Challa as Star-Lord. Again, I didn't really love this episode, but it is really cool to get like a Star-Lord in purple and it be the T'Challa one. I'm not the biggest fan of having T'Challa. Like, I love him as Black Panther. Having him as Star-Lord doesn't match as well, but that is of course why it's a what if. But yeah, I mean, it's still quite a cool minifigure when it's all said and done. We get an interchangeable headpiece, well, hairpiece as well for him in case you want to show his actual face off, which I quite like. We'll show you guys that now. So yeah, here's the other option of what you can show him as. Personally, I think this helmet is way cooler, but it is still cool that we get the option. Our next minifigure might be the most boring out of all of them. It's Monica Rambeau, which is a great character, but like, in minifigure form, it's a bit dull. Just to, like, I feel like this would be a weaker spot if you're going out buying these, and you got this one. It's a bit of a basic minifigure, especially as it doesn't have any leg printing or anything like that. It's a bit more of a basic character, but still cool that we got this nonetheless. I think it would have been cooler in like a bigger set as a side character, but you know, still a cool inclusion. With this one, we get this little helicopter build, which I think is from WandaVision, which is quite a nice touch, as well as a jumper over here. And then we've saved the best for last. These last 2 are my personal favourites from this whole line. So this is the Spider-Man we get in the Marvel Zombies What If episode. I really like this figure. It looks really great with the arm printing and the leg printing. It's exactly what we should be getting from every Spider-Man, not just this one. And obviously he's got Doctor Strange's cape. One thing I'll say about this figure is there's some weird blue printing up at the top. I'm not sure why that's happened, but still pretty cool. I'm most happy about getting these. I love having these Spider-Man web pieces. Always need more of them for the city, which look great. Something else that's really cool is we also get interchangeable heads, so we can have a Peter Parker head and hair. if that's what we wanted to show off instead, which I do really like. And we've got a jumper for that as well. A really, really cool minifigure here. And I'm really liking that this is one of the ones they included. And I just wish they had more Spider-Man printing on more of his sets and minifigures. And then finally, also from that What If Zombies episode, we get Zombie Captain America. What an amazing minifigure this is. Everything's like, look, this arm is all zombified. This one is just getting there. We've got one zombified leg. A really, really cool minifigure. A really interesting minifigure as well. One thing I will say about the whole minifigure line is we actually get 4 Captain America shields in different variants, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but yeah, I mean, still, this is probably my favorite minifigure out of the whole line. A really cool one, and as someone like me who wants to have a whole zombie area in their Lego city, this is a perfect inclusion for that, and I think it'll be really cool. I know Marvel Zombies is getting his own TV show in October this year, so I hope maybe we could even get a whole minifigure line of just like different of our favorite Marvel heroes all zombified. That'd be a really, really cool touch, but I'm not sure that's something Lego would do. And here are all the minifigures. You can see them. I've kind of separated them into their shows. What If at the front, Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the middle, Loki over there, and Wonder Vision in that other corner. I think these do look really good, especially together. And if you guys are trying to make a Marvel city or just have a bigger Marvel minifigure collection, this is a really great option. I think they look really, really cool, especially next to each other. The colours all really stand out. And we've got a lot of different variety between minifigures here, which I do really like. I think it's important to have those. And obviously, What If has the most minifigures because it's got the most different variants of stuff we wouldn't normally get. But it's nice that we've got everything else. I think it's all pretty good. There's not a minifigure I'm disappointed about here. But yeah, AliExpress has been a great option for these. Today, I'm going to give these figures Ballistic Bricks approved. I do really, really like them. Obviously, there's some minor things that are wrong. Like I pointed out, a few misprints here and there, a few broken pieces here and there, but nothing that would distract me away. I ask, would it be worth it to spend, triple, maybe quadruple the price of a lot of these, sometimes even more, just for minifigures which are basically the same thing? I don't think so, and I definitely recommend checking this out. I will have a link in the description if you guys want to check these out. But yeah, I mean, pretty solid build, and I can't wait to just decorate the city more with figures like this, and especially like when I've got 2 Avengers Towers and a Daily Bugle, as well as other Marvel modulars. It's cool that we've got options like this. I think it's a really fun touch. But guys, I've been Ballistic Bricks. Please let me know which one was your favourite here. I think mine, like I said, was probably the Zombie Captain America. But I will see you in the next one. Bye!